What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast. I'm FPF Hall of Famer Brent Bodkin.
And I'm Quaysie Maule.
A lot of stuff, obviously, in FPF that's happening. Before we hop into the divisions, obviously we have the 5v5, we have the code, we have the ladies as well, right? Before we hop into all of that, though, let's a couple of things that we've been noticing. Myself as a scorekeeper, Quaysie as a scorekeeper as well, right? So let's start off with this. Onside kicks or onside passes or onside runs, onside play in general, right? It's been a part of FPF now for a couple of seasons. A lot of the newer teams, though, aren't really familiar with the rule. So what I'm talking about is the fact that a lot of new teams are scoring a touchdown, then they're going for either the 1 point convo or for the 2 point convo, and then keeping the ball, whether it's successful or not, and be like, all right, we want to go for the onside play. Like, whoa, hold up, wait a second here. And the referees are like, you can't do that. Other teams are like, huh, what's going on? Of course we can. Yeah, no, you can't. So how it works in FPF, if you're not familiar, score a touchdown, you get your 6 points guaranteed, right? Like I said, you can either go for a 1 point convo or a 2 point. You could also go, the third option is for an onside play, whether it's a pass or a run. You can't go for both. It's one or the other. So if you score a touchdown, you want to go for the onside. Again, we have one onside per game. I think there should be two, but that's just my opinion. We have one onside per game. You have to have a timeout to call for the onside play. So you need a timeout in your back pocket. You don't need two, you just need one. But you can go for the onside play just once. Once you do it, it's over. You can't go for it again. You can't go for it after every touchdown. And you can't, like I said, you can't go for a 1 or 2 point convo and then want to keep the ball again and go for an onside play. It doesn't work like that. You can score a touchdown, whether you want to use the onside kick after your first touchdown or smartly after your last touchdown, especially if you're behind. You could use it one time and one time only, and it takes the place of a 1 point or 2 point convo.
Yeah. So again, same thing happened here. I mean, I did a couple scorekeeping games and they scored a touchdown. They're down by, let's just say, 6. So they score. Oh, sorry, they're down by 12. So they score a touchdown, being down by 6. They go for there's less than a minute left. They go for a convert, incomplete or unsuccessful or successful, doesn't matter. And then they're like onside kick. I've seen it at least each week. I've been scorekeeping at roster. So Brent pretty much cleared it up. You can't do that. And just to kind of put out there. Also, something to also say, converts. So when a team goes for 1 or 2, if you go for 1 and opposite team picks it off and returns it, that counts for 2 points. Doesn't matter if they go for a 1 point convert, everything is 2 points. So if they go for a 1 point convert, gets picked off and returned on you, it's 2 points to the opposite team. If they go for a 2 point convert and it's picked off, still got 2 points. So just to kind of let you guys know, because a lot of people are also confused too. I've seen it happen. Team went for 1. The ball got picked off. The other team scored. Ref says 2 points. Other teams like, no, it was 1 point. Huge discussion, huge confusion. People didn't know what was happening, wondering how does that make sense? How is 1 worth 2? But everything is worth 2. Plain and simple, everything's worth 2.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to co-ed 3. So right off the bat, I want to give a shout out to Pick Artists. Right now, they are 3-0. They just dropped 65 points versus Sacapel.
Yep.
So I mean, you always have to. I know Sacapel right now is not doing the best, but you always have to give a shout. You always have to give a shout out to. Sorry, what? Sacapel? Yeah,
It's that sax appeal.
Sacapel. Sacapel. My apologies. You have to give a shout out to a team that scores 65 points, and again, Pickers right now are playing pretty well. Just something to kind of say for Sacapel. It seems like it is a new co-ed team. Not new players. There's a lot of familiar faces. Right now, they're 0-4. I don't see their schedule getting any easier, but just keep pushing. Keep pushing every week. Get better. There's kind of saying 1% every week, and just do that. It's nice to see new teams in co-ed 3. It's nice to see new teams out there. Nice to see relationships kind of happen, stuff like that. People are having fun. It's unfortunate when you do have a bad start, but again, I don't think you get worse. If you're kind of improving, you're kind of just understanding. I'm sure there's a lot of new connections, stuff like that. So just keep pushing at it and just finish strong.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with anything that you said. On the flip side, though, I will give a shout out, like you said, to uh, pardon me, to pick artist 65 points. The quarterback Jacob Peltier, 11 of 13, 228 yards, six touchdown passes. Hubert Noel too. This guy had a game, man. Three TD receptions, three INTs. One of them he ran back to the house for a pick six. He also had a rushing touchdown. Jacob Peltier had two rushing touchdowns. 65 points is not something you see every day, especially in the lowest division for co-ed. So that's impressive. Like it's a sacks appeal. Use this as a learning experience to get better, and there'll be better times. There'll be brighter times ahead, and just keep pounding, keep going, keep getting at it. Pretty much.
Yes, sir. My game of the week is Dream Killers versus Padons. Padons. Yeah, Padons.
Yeah.
Both
Oh,
teams are
Padawans. Yeah, yeah,
undefeated. Dream Killers 4-0, Padons 3-0. So after this week, one team is not going to be undefeated. So that's my game of the week.
yeah. Unless they tie. Yeah, I was
Very
in a big
true.
Padawans against Dream Killers as well. So I'll come off that one. I'm gonna say pick artists against Stikibla. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to drop 65 points again, but I'm interested to see what the pick artist offense does this week against Stikibla. That's Saturday actually at Stady Bear.
And for the power rankings for Quad 3, we have Dream Killers at 1. Uh, why do I have. Yeah, sorry. Dream Killers at 1. End Zone Cartel at 2. Pick Artist at 3. Shakira's 2.0 at 4. Shadow Squad at 5. You you touch it, you catch it at 6. Steelers at 7. One dash Niners at 8. Flamingos at 9. And uh, Hill Mary Poppings at number 10.
Okay, nice. All right. Okay,
Go
let's
ahead.
go to Coed 2.
Just open it here.
So looking at Coed 2, we got four games coming up. Three on Saturday, one Monday. We have McNuggies Block Party Saturday, Easy Fun Les Wolves, and Injury Reserves against Mavericks. And then Monday we have Party Mix against All Day Every Day. What stood out to you from this past week in Kuwait 2?
So two things. I like Venom. I said it before. It's a good team. I think they have the potential of winning it all. I think they have a good offense. I think their defense might lack a bit of chemistry and just kind of a bit of experience, but I like them. Something that also kind of stood out to me was Mixolage comes back to reality. They lose 32-18 versus Les Wolves. So that's also
Yeah,
something
but
else kind of that was interesting. Mixolage is the undefeated co-ed 2 champions from the last season, I think, and the season before that. I think they have back to back. They're back to back champions. So
Mhm.
the fact that they got their first loss in a few weeks because the championship was a couple weeks. Well, the championship was back in November, right? So they haven't lost since then. Plus the 3 weeks they had. So they're literally on a hot streak of winning streak. They haven't lost a game. So kind of back to reality for them, and I'm kind
Yep.
of interested to see if they're going to be able to bounce back after that 14-point loss, or it's going to go downhill from there. They end up playing Shark Attack next, which is not a bad team. We thought they
Mhm.
were Snacks, also a good team. Venom, which is a good team. They have their next 3 games are not going to be easy for them. So it's to a point where if if they decide to not mess around, but if they decide to have another bad day, it's to a point where you start 3-0, and then all of a sudden you're 3-3.
Very true. So I will say though, I'm gonna put a little asterisk beside that loss by Mixelage. So Mixelage was without their starting quarterback Tristan Tuisan. He didn't
Okay, so
play, so that's a big loss, right? So they had Mikel, the Williams Claudio brothers, is Rafael Mikel. They were playing at quarterback, right? So that's a big drop off in Tristan Tuisan. So that could be that in my opinion, that's a big reason. Not that they lost the game, but it's a big reason why I guess it was so one sided. I mean, just because Tristan Tuisan was there doesn't mean they would have beat Gucci and Lemus, but I'm saying not having your starting quarterback, especially when it's
yeah, no,
electric, is
it's
him.
hundred
That's
percent. It's not.
yeah,
Who knows how the game would have been, but it's
yeah.
definitely.
I will say though, shout out to Stella. So Stella Jean George, she came on the pod. I think in the spring season she was on. Stella the G. Haven't seen her in a long time. Haven't seen her play in a long time. So it's always good. Best smile I think in FPF. So it's happy to see she was back on the field. She got a touchdown in that game. She had a couple of tackles as well, again helping her team get the W 32-18 over Missile Lodge. So for me,
Yeah.
that's actually the thing that stood out as well was that game, and yeah, we see as to why Missile Lodge lost that contest. What in terms of games of the week, what are you looking at this coming week?
I'm looking at McNuggies versus Block Party.
Ah, okay,
McNuggets
nice.
and Block
Okay.
Party. Again, Block Party is a team that you never could count out, and McNuggies they're a good team. I mean, they've been in co-ed for a bit now. They always tend to struggle a bit. They're never the top team. They're never the bottom team. They're always in between the middle. So I think it's going to be a good game to see. A very good a very good party, a very good block party team, and they're also a good McNuggies team. So I feel like it's going to be a good game to see.
All right. Okay. I was
Yourself?
gonna go with the Mavericks against the injury reserves. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't know how close that game's gonna be.
Mm.
Um, so the female athletes on in the injury reserves, like, I like them a lot. So like Lara Azuka, obviously one of the best, not just female players, one of the best players, period, in FPF, right? So she's a baller on this team. But then I was looking, I was like, okay, so you have Athena Ryan, a good, solid veteran quarterback. I like her deep ball. She actually throws, I think, one of the prettiest spirals in all of FPX. But then I started looking, like, okay, who else did I have besides that? So Marina Manisteri, I've seen her play. She's quiet, but she's good. She can ball. But then I was like, after that, I mean, they have some players like Anouk Benalil, but I was like, I don't know if they could keep up with some of the firepower that the Mavericks have. So I'm going to come off that game, unfortunately. I apologize. And listen, if you if they can prove me wrong, if the injury reserves can prove me wrong, I'll be the first to admit it next week on the pod. But I want to go with Les Wolves. Again, we just talked about them. So Gucci and his team taking on Easy Fun. I think that's going to be my pick for game of the week.
Yeah. So just to let you know, I don't think I believe Gucci's not going to be at that game.
Oh,
He has
okay.
to coach. Let me be curious to see who's going to be the quarterback for
Yeah,
that
well,
game.
if he's not there, that could change things for sure. I mean, we'll have to see what can happen. I'm sure he could get someone else to come and play for him, but we'll see. You never know.
I might have to hit him up and be like, heard you guys looking for a quarterback.
There you go. Exactly. You call Quaysie right up there. There you go. Call Quaysie right up
Okay,
there.
co-ed one.
Yep. Yes, we're gonna code one here. So game wise, it's coming week. So we have I believe it's three games. So yeah, last week was only one game. This past Sunday, the merge 2.0 knocked off the Laguerre that took 41-34. That was last Sunday. This week, three games, so two games extra. So the Geese against the IG team Sunday. Plenty of Fish against Fit Squad also on Sunday, and then on Wednesday, Laguerre that took against Lego My Flag. I will say for me, that's gonna be my pick for game of the week. It's gonna be Laguerre that took against Lego My Flag.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Kind of looking back at your kind of what you just said. I just have my notes here just to kind of say it. So yeah, so basically what you said, the merge took down Le Gig de Took
Yep,
34, yeah, 41-34.
41-34. Yep.
They moved to 3-0. So the merge is kind of back to their old ways, and they're also looking for a four-peat. So there's not a lot of teams that can actually say that we won back to back to back to back championships, unless you're the Braves or Montreal Finest. I think those are the one team. Those are the few teams that or maybe probably the only two teams that have won more than 4 champions back to back to back. I'm not even sure
Yeah,
maybe Montreal Finest has done. I know the Braves have done it just recently. Probably Montreal Finest too when they had their dynasty going. But yeah, again, so that's going to be interesting to see if the merge could do it. And again, same thing you're kind of saying. I'm also looking forward. To see Silly Geese versus IG Team, but I'm also looking
yeah.
forward to see the Silly Geese versus the merge. But that's going to be on February 28th. So we have a few weeks to get to see that game.
Okay, so I'm going with like Legarda took has look on my flag, and you said you're picking Silly Geese and the IG team, right? Is your game of the week?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go to
Um,
5v5 co-ed.
yeah.
So looking at the schedule right here, we have 2 games coming up this week. There was 5 last week. So a couple games, Maple Syrup knocking off AT and Dummies 34-27. Airbuds, a big blowout victory, 45-16 over Gundam. AT&T Dummies bouncing back with a blowout 47-27 win over Team Rocket. Flagma the Qua, tight one, beating Nice to Meet You 39-37 on another tight game. Spicy Braves with a 40-37 victory over Maple Syrup. For me, the Braves win over Maple Syrup was the one to sit out to me the most. Let me look at some of the names in this contest. So obviously with the Braves, Maule, JD Chevalier, Chateauvert, and obviously some of the ladies, right? Mathilde Renault, she's a great player. Lorianne Beauchamp as well. Leah Duval. Switch to the other side, right? Marc-Andre Reeves, of course. With his girl Coralie, Lori Willett, shout out to Lori, Jasmine Farmer, right? So a lot of big names at the Pilon brothers. So Alex Pilon back in the league, right? 4 touchdown catches,
That's a deadly
117
combo
yards.
too.
It's nice to see Alex Pilon back.
It's a scary combo. Both the brothers. They also have the other brother too. They have 3 brothers playing on right now, but
Yeah,
Alex and
Nick
Serge.
Pilon. Yeah,
Yeah, Alex and uh, Serge
Alex and Serge. Yep.
is. It's like we're going back in time to kind of watch them both play together.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly. Is Nick
So
Pilon the brother really?
yeah, they have so they're 3.
Oh, okay, I had no idea there's a
Yeah,
third.
I remember I was laughing because I played them when I was growing up, and they played for Stallions. And so you had Serge and Alex, Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
You had the combo where you had the running back. One was a running back, one was receiver, one was the quarterback. So you kind of had that three combo. Quarterback hands off to his
Yeah,
brother, throws to his brother.
that's it.
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool, and they were good too. They were fast. Like I was fast, but they were fast. But
So Nick was the quarterback, I guess, or
yeah, exactly.
okay, nice. All right, shoot, I had no
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, good.
I kind of have something to. So my interesting kind of topic to say. I'm just gonna put it up here. So I don't say something I don't want to say. Okay, so my interesting topic is: will Team Rocket get a win this season? So it seems like they have the weakest roster out of the 7 other teams. Right now, they sit at 0-4 with 6 games left, and for some reason, I kind of just don't see them winning any games. Hopefully, they can prove me wrong, but their schedule is hard. Like they're pretty much again. This is people have to realize COVID 5v5 co-ed 5v5 is super
Right.
intense. You pretty much have top athletes from top to bottom. You have the top females playing, and you have pretty much most likely a good amount of the top males playing. I feel like Team Rocket is the weakest roster compared to everybody else. Not by far, but I feel like they are the weakest roster. And going down to their schedule, they play Flag One X, Gundam, Flag One again. Nice to meet you. AT dummies that are on a roll right now. They had a bad start and they're kind of on their groove, and then Spicy Braves. So 6 games left, and to be honest, with you 3 of the 6 games, I feel like it's kind of an automatic L. I don't think they beat Flag One at all, and I definitely don't think they beat Spicy Braves. So their best bet is Gundam, Nice to meet you, and AT dummies. And I don't think they're going to win any of those games.
Yeah, he's gonna be tough, man. I mean, you look at the roster, like I said, the roster's not bad, right? I mean, the Nassim Mouidi from like Leverage Fall, Thomas Charles Purdy, Leverage Fall. I remember seeing, right? I remember seeing in Guillaume Bellon, a photo shot of the two best players on this team, and then a couple of subs, right? So Gab Charles, Dav Champagne has sub, Mike Pearson, Sakulina. I don't know if these guys are gonna be on the team full time. Maybe I don't think so, but again, they gotta kind of get more consistency. But yeah, like you talked about, I don't think they're going to win a game either. I mean, I was looking at their defense right now. They're giving up in 4 games 159 points. That averages out to 40 points a game. You're not going to beat up anybody. That's going to beat up. You're not going to beat up anybody if you're giving up 40 points a game, especially when your offense I didn't check their offensive numbers, but hold on. Yeah, they have 96 points scored over 4 games. So that works out to an average of 24 points a game. So you do the math. You're scoring 24, you're giving up 40. So they got to tighten some things up on the most important side of the ball, which is defense, before they worry about getting some wins. If they can, I think they'd finish 1-9 at the best if they could tighten
Mhm.
things up a little bit defensively.
I, I'm hoping they do get a win.
Yeah,
two
sure,
wins.
for sure.
But
That
I
was
just don't
players
think
on
it's
that
been
team.
great. Again,
Yeah.
I just think they're the like Guillaume Milan is the quarterback, extreme athlete, big defensive guy, but he's doing a good job as quarterback. He has the bunch system going. I just don't think they have that. Like they don't have the firepower. They have Emma. Emma is a great receiver, as you can see. She leads
Yeah,
the team with
100%. Yeah, yeah,
220
yeah.
yards.
Very good.
But
Very good
they
receiver.
need.
Yes.
I think they need something else. There's only so much she could do, especially if you're covering her a certain way. Remember, it's 5-on-5. The field is way smaller, so there's less distance for you to kind of get open at times, and it's harder for you to make throws. It's easier for a DB to cover
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
slant out and like a 10-yard out. He can cover 2 and 1. So
Yeah.
Guillaume's a smart guy. I think he's going to be able to kind of change some things around and try to get a W, but I just think it's going to be very difficult for them to get this W. And then my game of the week is going to be Flag Moi versus the Spicy Braves.
Oh, not against your team, the Airbuds.
No, so we already played Flag Moi
Yeah.
and they beat us. So for us, it's more a revenge game. So I don't want to say it's a game we already played against them. I think Spicy Braves versus Flag Moi, uh, two top of the quarterbacks,
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
two quarterbacks. I think going at it. No disrespect to Jeff. He's my guy. But I think that's more of the game of the week. If I told you, would you rather see Jeff Rosenblatt? Like if I say versus Alex Nito Pease, or would you
Yeah,
rather
no, no,
just see
yeah.
Joe Meyer? You're gonna tell me you rather see.
Rosenblatt all day long, my friend. Team Rosenblatt all day long. Come on now.
I mean, I think our game's gonna be good, to be honest with you. And again, for us,
Yeah.
it is a revenge match. Like we wanna come out firing. We played them week one, didn't go so well. Jeff didn't play the best either. So we definitely gonna want to win that game. I just think Flagmon and Spicy Braves are just gonna be a bit more entertaining.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you might be right on that. All right. Well, good luck to all 3 teams in this case. We'll see
Mhm.
how it all lays out. All right.
Okay,
Let's go to women's
women's
three.
three, yeah.
Yep. Looking at the standings, so there's no undefeated teams. Everyone has at least one loss. I know the Leoness we talked about last week, 0-4 right now, but again, still a young season. Um, Looking at the schedule though, right now, right, for this coming week here for the women's three division. So there is, pardon me, 2 games this coming week. And actually, no, I'm completely wrong. There are no games. It's actually a bye this week. So
Yeah.
there's 2 games starting next Saturday and then the Monday, so the 14th and the 16th. So this past week we had Lacey Boo 20-2 victory over the Spartiates. Then the Spartiates bounced back 2 days later. They tied actually Lehibu 31-31. So for me, I'm not gonna lie, that just stood out to me. You beat them by 18 one game, like 2 days, and then 2 days later you tie them 31-31.
Yeah.
Both
Also,
teams having an explosion of offense, but just really weird going from one blowout to an evenly matched game, and then the dynamics. I believe it's the first W of the season, if I'm not mistaken, knocking off Lioness 27 to nothing.
Yeah. To going on what you were saying though, it's not the fact that they blew them out. It's the fact that the Spartans only scored 2 points. How do you go from
Yeah,
only scoring
yeah,
two
yeah, true,
points
true.
to scoring 31? It's a huge turn, you know? And I was kind of looking at that, and we kind of I thought the Spartans was the clear winner, and they were going to kind of take this division. Again, I didn't really look at the rosters. I didn't really have time to kind of look at the rosters game to see who was playing and who did play. Maybe the Spartans, maybe their quarterback wasn't there. Maybe they're missing a few girls. You know, the game was on Saturday at 9 p.m. So maybe some of the girls were working, some of them were busy, and then they played on Monday at 11. So maybe sometimes the weekend doesn't work for everyone's
Yeah.
schedule. So there's that. But they came back, they tied the game, and they kind of said, "Listen, you guys beat us by 18. We only scored 2 points. We're gonna come back out here and fire." And they scored 31. So it's good to see. And then you kind of said the Diamix CCL played Linus, and we kind of talked about Linus as well.
Yeah, yeah.
They're struggling as you. It's gonna be a struggle this season. Hopefully they can score some more points. Right now, I think there's back-to-back games where they scored 0 points. So hopefully, the following week, February 14th, they do play the Spartans. Hopefully they can get on the scoreboard.
Uh, I'm just looking at it right now. So again, talking to your previous point, right, about who was there, who wasn't. So in that first game, so both quarterbacks were there for their teams. So Marion Tremblay uh, had 99 yards and one INT. I believe all her receivers were there for the first game and for the second game. I don't know what happened between the two games. It's really weird. I know in the first game, Beatrice Dubois, shout out to her, she had 4 sacks. Had two other players, Beatrice LeMay and Mario Plant. They had a sack as well. There was a pick six by Gabrielle Caron Malbouf. But it's all those players seemingly were there for the rematch, and it's like looking at the quarterback again. I talked about 99 yards and a pick. Marion Tremblay, she bounced back. She had 5 TD passes in the rematch. All her receivers were there. Fanny Vogue, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chloe Desjardins, I believe, was there as well, 2 touchdowns. The other side for Lehibu, Eleanor Lacasse had 3 touchdowns and 119 yards. So I don't know, maybe it's just they just had a bad outing, bad night maybe. And yeah, sometimes that'll happen, but at least they're able to get 1 point out of a possible four. So it's better than
Yeah,
nothing. Uh,
exactly. It's kind of
yeah,
crazy though.
congrats.
If you tell me a team lost 20-2 and the next day they score 31, I'm very confused.
Yeah, yeah,
And you tell me everyone's there, a quarterback's there, I'm very confused.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, so we have no
happens.
game of the week for that week, so I think we can move on to women's two.
What's what? Yeah, no, women's one.
Women's
No,
two.
oh, women's two. Sorry, you're right. My bad. Yeah, you're right. Women's two. Sorry.
Oh, I
I was,
haven't I haven't said the power rankings for women's one. So I'll go from women's one. So we don't have to go back. Power ranks for women one. Sorry, women's three. Lehibu, Spartans, H Town. Oh, She Smarks, CCL, and Lioness. That's women's three. And so now we're women's two.
all right. So yeah, women's two. There's a ton of games this coming week. Action starts on Saturday. It's counting here: three, four, five, six, 8 games in women's two between Saturday and this coming Wednesday. So pretty much almost everybody is in action. So it should be interesting to see. And of course, I say that I realize that Chaos is actually not in action. I think almost everyone else is. So yeah, Chaos right now sitting on top of the Division 3-0 record. Nomads are 2-0. So they're undefeated. And then there's a couple 1-0 teams, Cavaliers and Old School. They've only played one game each, so they're both 1-0. And then a couple winless teams, the Rock 0-4, Turf Titans 0-2, Powerpuff 0-4. So I know we went on a whole thing last week about Chaos needs to be in women's one. I still stand by that. All 10 toes, I will stand on that. I will die on that hill. Chaos needs to be in Division One, women's one. Sorry,
Mhm.
pardon me. It's yeah, we don't need to go through
No,
that again. But
for sure.
Chaos,
No.
women's one. Let's go.
Something that's kind of interesting to look at the Rock. right now are 0-4. I would like to say the bottom five teams. So I have it kind of right here. You have, let's just say we'll do bottom five. So Vanny Cheetahs, Blue Legacy, The Rock, Turf Titans, and Powerpuff. I think The Rock should have been one of the top, at least top 10 teams. Right now, it's not looking so good for them. Hopefully, they kind of can make a turnaround and start getting some wins. Um,
Yeah.
Looking at the team that's kind of right behind them, we have Turf Titans that are 0-2. They scored 24 points the last two games. They allowed 105. Do you think? I think I'm not sure if we talked about it as much, but they made the jump, right? They were a
Yeah, they
women's
came off
three
for women's
team.
three. Yeah, see, they made the jump as some other team in this division should do. But yeah, they made the jump.
They made they made the jump. Now they're women's two. I'm curious to see how the rest of their schedule goes because the first two teams they played against. I mean, they play the top Dream Killer team. I would say, I think Dream Killers are 2-1, so they're doing pretty well. And then they played a powerhouse Chaos team that beat them 58-6. So their schedule does get a bit easier. They play Powerpuff next, and then they play
Yep.
Vandy Cheetahs, and then they play Cavs. So I mean, it gets a bit easier until you get to like Wolfpack and
Yeah.
Nomad, stuff like that. But the next 3 weeks are going to be kind of a test to see exactly where they stand, and if it was a good idea for them to make the jump, or if it was a horrible idea. Because if they lose the next 3 games, it's to a point where it's to a point where maybe they shouldn't have made the jump, right? Even if I guess like yeah, it's a bit harder competition, but if they don't make it at least close against Powerpuff and Barry Chi, let's say they lose
Yeah.
by like even if they lose by a dozen of points, I think that's a bit too much. It's to a point where you want close games. If you're gonna make that jump, especially with all these teams, there's a reason why you make the jump, right? It's to compete, right? And again, Dream. I feel like Dream Killers is just so much better than them, and Chaos is a way better team. But when you have teams
Yeah.
like Powerpuff and Bani Cheetahs, those are the teams where you should be able to compete against. So the next 3 weeks, I'm very curious to see exactly how they're gonna do because I hope they do well, because I don't want them to go 0-10, and it's to a point where maybe you guys shouldn't have made that jump. Maybe you guys should have stayed in
No, I,
women's three.
I hear you. That's right. I hear you. I just think again they had the guts to make the jump, so you have to give them credit where credit. So you can't take that away from them. Should they have stayed in women's three? I mean, after getting beat 58-6 by a team who should be in women's one, you can I guess still make that argument. Yes, and yeah, a Dream Killers again, right? Another good veteran squad. They're better than the Turf Titans. It's not even close. As is Chaos, right? But like you said, the schedule now coming up, Powerpuffs and the Vanier Cheetahs, those are opportunities for these ladies on Turf Titans to get some wins together, right? 0-4 is Powerpuff, right? So they have the
Yeah,
same amount of wins as Turf Titans, right? So and then Vanier Cheetahs, they're 1-2. So this is the time now where they can lift themselves off the mats and get some W's. Even old school. Old school's 1-0, right? Old school, I mean, they're 1-0. It is what it is. They went into one game. That's not their fault. But yeah, in that lead up to that game you talked about in week 9 against Wolfpack and then even against Cavaliers, BD, EB, two stronger teams in this division. Turf Titans have a chance to not only get some W's before them, but also get some momentum. And that's what appears to be what they need right now. Because you look at their offense, they've scored 24 points over 2 games. So easy math, that's 12 points a game. Their defense, which has been their Achilles heel, not as bad as Powerpuff, who've given up 200 points in 4 games. Actually, you know what? It is just as bad because you know what?
50 points.
The Turkey defense has given up 105 points. Yes, 105 over 2 games.
Yeah,
They're giving up. Brace yourselves. I hope you're sitting down for this. People at home,
2.5.
they've given up 53 points a game. Now
No,
again,
yeah,
it's really
Powerpuff is
good.
literally the same thing. 50.25. So I mean, they're almost in the same boat.
So yeah, that's it. They're almost in the same boat. Well, they are really because Powerpuff have given up 200 points over 4 games. So it's 50,
So it's
50, 50,
50. Yeah,
50.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same thing, literally. But again, Turf Titans have played Dream Killers, who are a really good Div 2 team, a women's 2 team, and then the Chaos, who are division dodging from women's 1. You also have to keep that in context, right? When we talk
Yeah.
about this, I don't think Turk Titans defense is as bad as the stats say they are.
Well,
But again, you
we're
still can't be giving nearly 60 points.
yeah. Well, we're gonna find out in 3 weeks, right? In the next 3 weeks, as we said, they get to play. They play three of the bottomish teams. They play Old School. They play Power Puff, and then they play Vanny Cheetahs. So that's gonna kind of show us exactly what Turf Titans are, and it's to a point where if they lose, I'm sorry, if they lose three of these games, Power Puff, or if they don't make it a close game, then I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be in women's too. Because that if it's like, let's just say it ends like 25-24, fine. If you lose like, I'm sorry, like 30 to like 10 or 30 to like
Yeah,
12
yeah,
or
of
something on those
course,
lines,
yeah, yeah.
then there's a situation, you know.
I hear you're not wrong. I hear you 100%. I hear you 100%. They should be relegated down. We should actually do this. I know in FPF we used to do that where teams wanted to go down because they were getting smoked. Rob would let them, and teams wanted to come up because they were dominating or being forced to go up. Rob would do it. Jeff, again, we need to do this. Turk Titans lose these two next games. Yeah, they should be relegated down to women's
Just
three.
drop
Just their
just drop
benefit
them
to learn.
down.
They need more reps. But again, I'll give them all the credit. I'll give them all the credit in the world to the Titans. If they stay in Division Women's Two the rest of the year, even if they go 1-9, even if they go 0-10, right? It's not as if they were racking up wins in Women's Three either, right? So let's be
No.
real about this. And I'm not totally surprised they're getting beat down again by arguably two of the best teams in this division. We'll see what they happen. Let's see what they do against these lesser teams. But again, I will give those ladies all the credit in the world for at least going up in the division and saying, okay, you know what? Let's see what we can do here versus some other teams who have not done that yet. And it's
My game of the week is Old School versus Vanier Cheetahs.
yeah, all right. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I'm gonna go. It's interesting on this one. I was kind of thinking about that game, and I was kind of going back and forth. I'm gonna get off the fence here. I'm gonna go with. I'm interested because I haven't seen them play yet. I'm gonna go with um Supernova against Nomads. We talked a little bit earlier. Supernova again, the other undefeated team in this division. I believe the record is 2-0. Let me just double check that here to make sure. Nomads, the record is 2-0, like I said. So
Yeah.
taking on Supernova. Supernova's 1-1. I should say, pardon me. The 1-1 Supernova. Um, I've seen some of the names on this team before. They're coming off of a big win over the Bolts, 36-8. I want to see if they can keep it up now as they play a better team in this week actually against Nomads. Actually, well, yeah. So actually no. So before Nomads, I gotta put this say this properly. Before Supernova plays Nomads, they play on Saturday against Blue Legacy. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens with Supernova. Maybe they can go in
Uh,
2-1 instead of being 1-1 into that game.
all right. Power rankings for women's two. Nothing changed. Yeah, I pretty much have it. Pretty kept everything. So Chaos, Wolfpack, Nomads, Villala, Supernova, Dream Killers, Old School, Lasorette, Lasorette,
Sorority.
Lasorette,
Sorority.
Sorry, Cavaliers and Bolts. So nothing really changed. I didn't really move anything with the games that were played from Raw. I'll use
All
it.
right. Let's show up to
Women's
1 final division here. No, it's not the final division. Actually, it's the final.
No, there's men's 5v5. We're almost there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so
So pretty
yeah,
pretty quiet week this week.
yeah.
Women.
I kind of sorry, I'm just opening up the standings and the schedule. So we had
Yeah.
women's one. There's not that many. Wait, did I have this?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I put this.
well, I'll tell you. So women's won this one game. It's Saturday. It's Blue Powell against Cayenne.
Mhm.
Last week a bunch of blowouts. Sub Zero laid a beat down on VNO. So Verior 41-6. Then Matrix laid a beat down on them 31-6. So 12 points over two games for the Sherbrooke squad. Cayenne blew out Blue Pod again, so they'll be meeting again this week, but they met this past Sunday, 32-6 in favor of Cayenne over Blue Pod. Then a tight game, Sub-Zero edged out Matrix 13-7 that took place this past Sunday. So again, two veteran teams are going at it. So I was always excited to see Elizabeth Ashgar, one of the top female quarterbacks in the country, let alone an FPF taking on Sarah Parker. Many people think it's a goal. So Laurence Pontbriand. So it's nice to see Laurence back in the league. I think she gave birth. That's why she was out. I thought she was still pregnant, to be honest with you. But last time I saw her, she was looking pretty big. So she obviously has given birth, and she's back in the league. Many people feel might be the greatest female player in this country of all time, or at least let's say top 5 or top 10 at the very worst. Phenomenal player, with good football mind too. She knows her stuff. So she had 7 catches, 56 yards in that game. But again, um, Sub-Zero escaping with the victory, and with that victory, I believe they're 4-0 now with that W.
Yeah. Kind of going back to what you were saying from VTR, I just kind of want to give a shout out and kind of like a welcome as well too, right? So VTR, they're a new team. It's their first season in Women's One. So again, as we kind of said, they played Sub Zero. They lost 41-6, and they played Matrix 31-6. Two of the literally top. I would like to say probably top 10 teams in the world. I would like to say kind of, especially in Canada, top 10
The
team in
very
Canada.
are.
Sorry?
Okay. The very
For
are. Are you
Matrix,
thinking
Matrix and Sub Zero, I'm saying the top. They're
Oh
probably
yeah.
Matrix,
Makes it so for
yeah.
sure,
Matrix
100%.
and Sub Zero probably top 10 teams in Canada as like a
Yeah, yeah, I
club
would say yeah.
related. So not I'm pretty sure not the start that that they all wanted to have, but it's a long season, and hopefully they just kind of get better here, and they're able to translate that into their university season. Because again, you're not gonna play. I guess you do play some of these girls in university, Concordia, Montreal, like that, but it's good to get all these practice reps, and you're playing the best of the best, you know. So good
Yeah,
for them
yeah.
to kind of getting into this league and just playing good competition.
Maybe we could trade Chaos for the very or and have like a vision switch. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Maybe, maybe.
I think we should actually. I think it would work out better for both teams, to be honest. Very or can get some reps in Division Two, where it appears at least right now in the season, that's probably where they should be, especially because they're
Yeah,
new to FPF.
to be honest, I think they would have sat decently in women's two. But again,
Yes.
I think they want to have those reps versus those top teams. You know, they kind of want to see those defenses. They want to be prepared, right? Because they're
Yeah,
looking at it more as
sure, yeah.
a future. You know, like this is like for them, like yeah, FPF. This is just how do you say, like this is kind of it's practice. It's literally practice for their upcoming season where they want to win. They want to win the RESQ, U Sports. They want to kind of make a name for themselves. They want to get those upsets versus Concordia because right now I think Vedal is probably maybe the top 4 team, maybe number 4. I think it's probably Concordia, Montreal. I want to say maybe UCAM. I know Concordia, Montreal are the top 2 teams, right? So Vidal is a bit lower than that, but I feel like they want to get better, you know, and this is probably the best way for them to get better.
That's fair. That's fair. Makes sense.
My
All right.
so game of the week. Oh, yeah, there's only one game, right? Blue Pond versus Cayenne, so that's the game of the week, and that's going to be happening on Saturday.
We're both picking Cayenne here, or are you picking Blue Pals?
No, I'm taking Cayenne.
Yes, I mean, correct.
They just played too. Cayenne won 32-6. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
There you go.
So,
All right.
let's go to 5
So quickly, 5v5 intermediate here. Looking at the schedule, we have this week 3 games. Football Quebec U16 against Les Benchwarmers, Green Monster against Les Benchwarmers. So 2 games for Les Benchwarmers, one on Saturday, one on Monday, and then wrapping things up also on Monday, Red Zone against Hungry Hippos. That'll be Monday at Stady Bear. What stood out to you from this past week's action?
So this is 5v5 intermediate.
Yep.
Yeah. So to be honest, I didn't write any. For some reason, there's no games played. That's what I wrote. Is that true? Am I crazy? There's no games played last
Oh,
week.
you're not.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. No games played. All right. So
Yeah.
on to the
So
next.
yeah. So
Well,
I wrote no games played.
yeah, you're
Game
right.
of the
You're right.
week: Red Zone versus Hungry Hippo. So,
I was going to pick up too. The Reds 2 weeks ago, coming off a heartbreaking loss to Hungry Hippos 32-31. So I'm looking for Red Zone to bounce back. Actually, I'm going to pick flag. I'm going to pick football Quebec U16. I scored kept the game a couple weeks ago in Brassard against Flag Avengers. They got beat 58-25, but those kids were good. Those kids, I talked about it last week. I think a lot of athletes in that, a lot of good kids who are coachable, which is very important, especially when you're a kid. A lot of kids have big heads and think they're going to be the next NFL player. They're going to be the next Justin Jefferson or Jackson Smith and Jigma, whoever the case may be, right? Or next Joe Burrow. No, these kids were coachable. And yeah, taking on the bench warmers. Do I dare call an upset here? Do I dare go on a limb and call an upset? You know what? I'm gonna call an upset right here. I say the football Quebec U16 is gonna knock off the bench warmers. Upset
there you go.
special. You heard it here first.
Just I keep forgetting the power rankings, so we'll get back to it. For intermediate, Team Quebec U18 1, Flag Vengers at 2, Flags Don't Lie at 3, Green Monster at 4, Hungry Hippos at 5, Team Quebec U16 at 6, Red Zone at 7, and the Bench Furs at 8.
All right.
We'll go
Final
Canada.
division now. 5v5 competitive. So we had 2 games this past week. Last Saturday, we had Montreal Magic laying a beat down on Nova Guard, 32-8. Not really too surprised with that. The Braves laying a beat down on Flagmont Lasac, 43-20. That game stood out to me. I was shocked. I'm not shocked that the Braves won. I'm just shocked it was a blowout. Like these are two veteran, experienced championship teams. I'm surprised that it was a 23-point victory for the Braves.
Yeah, well, the Braves scored 30 the first half, so when you're dropping 30 points, they got Jerry Murphy's back too. I didn't know that. Gab Chapin dropped 5 touchdowns too. That's pretty. It's 7 for 7, 87 yards, 5 touchdowns. So that doesn't help Flagmont at all. And again, convert. So they got 3 2-point converts. So that's an extra touchdown. But going to halftime, the score was 30-14. It's hard to kind of come back when you're down like that. And Nadu Peace threw 4 INTs. So again, um, not good as well when you throw 4 INTs. And trust me, I'm someone that should know that since I just threw 4 INTs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so exactly, I'm I had the same thing with you. I looked at the matchup and I saw 43-20, and I was kind of confused. Um, but yeah,
At
so
first, I was like, Alexander, please not show up. Like, was he not at the game? That's what I thought at first when I saw the score.
yeah, but I mean, Braves could do that to you sometimes. They get ahead of you, and again, there's a reason why they're the Braves. The reason why they've won back championships. I think, or they won the last two. I mean, I think last two, last
Yeah, that's
three.
three, I think.
I think
Yeah.
last three. I know Flagmore has the first one. Flagmore has the first ever FPF 5v5 championship, or it was 3 seasons ago or 4 seasons ago. But I know Braves have back to back, probably back to back to back. I think that's the last three. But yeah. So it's early on the season too, right? It's the first matchup. I believe they're probably gonna play. They're probably gonna see each other again. Yeah, they're definitely gonna see each other again. They probably play twice, so they see each other again March 30th. So teams have a lot of time to get chemistry, more for flag one, kind of get back into it, and they kind of usually around the end of the season, it's either you're on a roll or you're kind of downgrading. So hopefully both these teams are on a roll, and we get to see Clash of the Clans battle here.
There you go. All right.
Um,
What game are you looking forward to this week?
so KGP right now, Elite hasn't played any games. They're 0-0. So it's gonna be nice for them to kind of get their first game. They play a struggling no regard team,
Yep.
so for them that's kind of a good matchup. And then they play Naproxen after that. So an early 2-0 start, and sometimes that's exactly what you need
Yep.
to start for them. So I believe they play back to back too. They play on Sunday and they play Monday, so they kind of get to catch up with everybody else and make a stand for their standings to see where they're gonna be after their first 2 games.
All right, I got the Braves against Party Crashers. I mean, I expect Party Crashers to make the game at least a little bit competitive, but I don't expect them to win. I could be wrong though. I'm excited to see guys like Emerson Peterkin. I don't know how often he faced the Braves, so that'll be an interesting matchup to see. Obviously, Mendo, Joseph, a lot of the same guys, Fritz Senatus, Riv Jean, Giroux, all those guys, Jean Lee, of course, Frankie Hogue, all those cats. Mandy Caba, him I haven't really seen play that much yet. Same thing with Ezekiel. Well, Ezekiel T, I mean, obviously CFL player. I've seen him play a lot. So phenomenal athletes taking on the Braves, right? The golden standard of 5v5. So I think the Party Crashers give them a run for the money. Will they get the W? I'd be really surprised if they got the upset victory, but a fun game to
Yeah, it should be a
watch.
good team. It should be a good game. Again, Braves are known for offense. Party Crash are known for their defense. So we're gonna have an offense versus defense. I think at the end of the season, they're probably gonna see the top. Braves are probably the top offensive team. Party Crash gonna be
Yeah.
the top defensive team. I think. I think that's what it's gonna come down to. Or on paper, that's what it's gonna look like. So
Oh,
it's nice to
see. Well,
see
wait and see.
an early matchup like this happen. I just want to give a shout out before we kind of leave and kind of end this episode. I want to give a shout out to Blue Dry 10.1.
Yep.
We talked about them a bit. They made the jump.
Yep.
They played the first game they played was Flagmois. Flagmois won
That was
58
extra.
94. Next game they played
Mhm.
Raw Dogs. Raw Dogs won 35-26. They play KGP Elite in the next 2 weeks, so they got a big break about 3 weeks before they have to prepare for a KGP Elite team. But yeah, I just want to give them a shout out. I saw them play versus Raw Dogs. They're not bad at all. For I was expecting them to be way worse than they are. I kind of said before that they're gonna have to change their play calling a little bit because teams do check to see what you're doing. I'm one person that does that. If I see you like doing something a lot, and I get to score keep games, I get to watch games. If I'm just kind of hanging around, I do see it. So something where right away I'm calling my defense. I'm time to look out for that. So they're gonna have to realize that teams do adapt right away, and you're not gonna be able to run the same play twice and get away with it. But just a
Yeah.
little shout out to them. I think they're gonna do decent in this division. Um, if they continue having the same consistent roster, I think they're just gonna get better from here. I feel like if guys start leaving, guys start separating, I think that's gonna be an issue. But if they could keep this roster for the next couple years, I think they could have something special.
Yeah, I mean, they've been together for a while. They've seemed like guys, Ivan Desjardins, obviously, my buddy, my quarterback there, Fred Trudeau. They've been together. They've won championship. They won the championship last year, right, in intermediate, which is why they're making the jump to competitive. They've been
Mhm.
together for a long time. These guys appear to be all like tight, good friends as well, right? So that's what it takes, right? Having that chemistry, having that timing, knowing where guys are going to be, knowing what they need and what they want offensively and defensively. Listen, I gave these guys all the credit in the world for making the jump. They would have stayed in intermediate and done what? Yeah, could probably win the championship or at least be in the finals. Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but you want to push yourselves. You want to get better as a team and as individual players as well, which is why I give them all the props in the world for going to 5v5 competitive and not just resting on the laurels and looking to dominate on some weaker teams, as we've seen
Yeah,
some teams do, unfortunately, in FPF sometimes.
exactly. Just to kind of finish here, power rankings. So top 10, there's only nine. So top nine. We got Braves at one. We got Party Crashers at two. We got Flagmois at three. Montreal Mac is at four. KGP at Raw Dogs at five. KGP at six. Naproxen at seven. Blue Dry at eight, and No Regard at nine. I'm very curious to see when not curious to see because I kind of just pop it up here. Interesting to see when Blue Regard. I think that's going to be a very entertaining game,
Yeah,
and it's going to be
yeah,
one where
right.
Blue Dry is going to have to realize that if they want to win a game this season, it might be against No Regard. So it's going to be a point you're going to have to pull everything. You're going to have to pull all your tricks out your hat to get that W. Because No Regard still, again, they're not the best team. They're having a quarterback situation right now. They have a new guy kind of coming in, throwing a 5v5 versus a shit ton of good athletes. So it's not the easiest thing to do. 5v5 fielding too. I mean, it's hard to hit certain routes they're used to. But again, I think that matchup's going to be very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it'll be happening last week of the season, week 14. So on April 4th, it'll be Blue Dry 10.1 against No Regard. So I'll be looking forward to that one as well.
That might be 0-9 versus 0-9. Winner gets the one team goes under. One team gets one win in the season. Other team goes.
Okay, let's make this fun. Right now, obviously, it's a ways away. It's a couple months away. Pick a winner right now. Who do you got?
I got Blue Dry.
Okay, shit, Blue Dry as well. So you can Blue Dry. Let me be different. You're gonna take Blue Dry. I'll take No Regard then. There you go.
There you go. So you guys got support No Regard.
There you go. So
Tanner,
we had this on tape. Omar will save it. We'll have it on tape. We'll go back to it. Final podcast of the season in April, or the regular season, at least in April. Go back and roll the tape there and see who's correct on that one.
There you go. All right.
Good man, Omar. Good man. You see it right on your phone. Right on your phone, indeed. All right. That does it for this episode of the FlagPlus Football First and Goal podcast. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I know we will. Hopefully, it'll be a good game. I know we talked about it in the first episode. Quickly, we'll do it for the second episode. Your go-to food for the Super Bowl is what, Quaysie?
Nachos.
So you're a nacho guy. Okay, I'm a ribs guy. I like ribs. I don't mind some chicken wings, but I think ribs are just a little bit above chicken wings. I make good ribs, so that's why I'm saying that. Anyways, so you got your chicken wings. They got some ribs. Oh, what's your drink of choice? What are you drinking?
I'm probably a Corona. To be honest with you.
Water.
Something
Like
nice,
okay.
nice and smooth. You know, I feel like
like water.
Okay,
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yourself?
Okay. Um, I do like Heineken. Not gonna lie. If I had to go with beer, I'd say I have the Heineken or Sleeman. I like Sleeman 2.0. It's the healthiest of beers, I guess you could say. Yeah, although beer's not that healthy for you.
If I was picking liquor, I would pick rum and coke.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I was about to follow that up with rum and coke 100%. I was gonna follow that up with a rum and coke.
If I'm looking at liquor, I'm taking rum.
Yeah, rum and coke all day. What rum do you go with?
It depends, really. I think. Did you tell me you like Jack Daniels?
I don't mind Jack. It's not my first choice. Jack Daniels is okay.
To be honest with you, I'm an Appleton type of guy.
Okay. I was gonna say dark or light rum. Like I guess you're saying.
I like. What depends?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna show. I was gonna grab a bottle from up here. Okay, we won't do that. For me, it's dark rum. My dad's actually a huge white rum fan. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how me and my dad are related. Like he likes that. Like a white rum. I think it's disgusting, but whatever. I'm a dark rum all day guy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't mind. I'm fine with it. As long as it has that rum taste, I'm fine. You know.
Enjoy the drinks, enjoy the food, enjoy the Super Bowl. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Again, we did a 5v5. We did women's. We did intermediate, competitive, everything else in between. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Have a good weekend. February is here. It's fantastic. Not really. The weather sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. We're one step closer to spring. So
yeah, hopefully it gets a bit warmer.
We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
It is.